Bus and What's up, ladies and gents? You are listening to Miss the Bus, and this is our final episode of the Better Call Saul review process.
Makes me cry.
This is going to be a bittersweet moment. Very bittersweet.
I am joined by Bailey, Mary, and Matt.
Hey.
Before we get into the review of the episode, if you like what we do, you can subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and YouTube at Miss the Bus. Social media, Twitter and Instagram at Miss the Bus Pod. Same thing on Facebook. We are there. So what did you boys think of this, and girls?
It's boy and girls.
Think of this finale.
Oh, man. So much.
So emotional.
Yeah, so many emotions.
Yeah, I
The
think...
episode was called Winner, by the way.
Winner, winner,
Oh,
chicken
like the
dinner.
ABBA
Like
song.
chicken, like...
No,
like, I think it was the song that they were
where I
going
was
for,
going
not
with
the
this.
chicken.
Kidding.
Yeah, so that's a little cool thing.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
think there were like threads of the story that we could see were heading towards a certain point in this episode, but I think that just the way they pulled the stuff off just still really, like, the situations characters were put in still shocked me, and wow, there was, like Mary said, there's a lot of emotions flying in this episode. My God.
Mm-hmm.
Werner is not the winner.
Werner.
Yeah, you'd
You
say,
uncultured fool.
you could say
Werner.
you could say he risked it all and he lost.
Yeah.
Risked it all for what, man? You were so close. Are
God.
we going straight into spoilers?
Yeah,
Because
I feel
why?
like at this point we
you know what,
should.
people?
Yeah.
Why listen to a review if you haven't seen it
Exactly.
of the finale?
Yeah, I mean, if you've been following along this long and you haven't been watching the show for some reason, I mean,
Yeah, you
What are you
failed.
doing?
You failed miserably. All right, so
Yeah.
this is your forewarning that everything in this episode is spoilers. So don't say we didn't warn you. But yeah, I mean, like, the whole thing was like he's making all this money. We said this before, and it's like he just had to wait a little bit longer,
it
just a
makes-
little bit longer.
I get like you're homesick and you miss someone, but it makes absolutely no like he knew what they were doing. Like he knew the type of person he was working for.
He knows the kind of work he's doing.
Why would
yeah.
you think that those people would be understanding?
He was weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, you
He
feel
just
bad for the guy because as smart as he is with his hands and he knows how to do his work, it seems like you genuinely
no common
believe
sense.
that he doesn't have that, right? Because when Mike asked him, like, what did you think was going to happen? And he just goes, I thought I was going to come home to my friend Mike, who was going to be very disappointed, but he was going to understand. And Mike basically just has to be like, it's not up to me, dude.
Yeah.
There is a fucking mad Gus Fring out there that will not even speak to you.
Gustavo.
Yeah, it's just
Terrifying.
like...
The Lord.
Do you think
Yeah.
Gus Fring, his plan was always to kill him?
You think, like,
Or do you
even
think-
if
do you think
nothing
Do you
bad...
think the phone call that he got from the guy made it, like, official?
I think
You know?
Yeah.
I think the phone call might have had something to do with it, just because he seems like he just hates that guy so much. And
Yeah, I mean, because they weren't going to kill the rest of the crew, he said. So that was never the intention, like, to have them do the work and then kill him. So, I mean, Werner just messed it up. for
Right, I
himself.
think it was, yeah, I guess that last straw. I don't know, though.
God, it was just so. You go from seeing him sunburnt on the side of a pool and like living life up, and then you see he looked like a lost puppy, like in the car when Mike was on the phone with Gus, and you're just sitting there and you're like, he has no idea he's about to die. Like,
yeah, he
it's
really
just so-
didn't understand it.
it's just so sad.
Because he was still begging, like, just let me go back for the night. Like, he wasn't even
Yeah, like, he
thinking
wasn't
about his
even
life
thinking
yet.
about-
Right,
Right,
He was
he
just
just
thinking,
still wanted to see his
Which
wife.
and it just proves how much he was like so. It was almost like he's just so innocent. Like he
yeah,
has
like
no
he's
thought
so
process.
yeah, like he's so not. Like this line of work is just not what he should
he's
be
just
doing.
like good at what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just shouldn't be for those.
but
type
not
of
for
people.
the drugs.
yeah, it just sucks. It's just like he thought that he could get away with this, and he left the instructions for his crew, and he's
Yeah.
like, Michael, everything was going to be fine, and...
God,
that's
and
not
then
the kind of people you're working for,
it's
man.
just even worse whenever he like tried to make it easier for Mike, because then it just makes
Well,
it
'cause,
breaks
right,
your
'cause
heart even more.
Even though we say
Just
like he
kill his
doesn't have the
friend.
common sense right for all of his plan or whatever,
Yeah.
but then as soon as it clicks, he does understand what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
I mean he takes that one plea, like, please don't kill me, and then
Right.
it was just like, okay, I know it's gonna happen. Make it easier on you. God, what a scene! Just
Oh my God.
the way they shot that too was.
I know, just like yeah.
the show know how the okay, I can't talk.
Sean,
The show knows how to build, because that was like, oh man.
yeah.
I was hoping he was just gonna like do it real quick and like not like have this whole like walkout scene. But
Just
I'm
like in the middle of him talking, he's
yeah,
gonna pull it out. And just be
because I was like,
"You know
maybe
what?
he'll just like do a surprise.
I was hoping that I had this little glimmer of hope that like Mike would somehow find a way to just not kill him and like tell him like, okay, you got to go now.
I was
like,
right, and I
"Get
was
outta here,
thinking for a
man."
second. I was thinking that too. Like, is there some kind of way that Mike finds a way to
Yeah.
give this guy some sort of
Is
like
he gonna concoct something?
right? But then I
Yeah.
think you think like what we know of Breaking Bad and how close knit Mike and Gus are, and it's just
Right.
like
Gus,
there's
no
no
way.
room in that
Well, it's
story for
that-
Mike to have any kind of hidden demon or any kind of thing that
I
he
mean,
just
yeah,
didn't tell
Gus
him.
Gus knows all, so like
Right.
Gus would know.
It's
and
that and like Mike from like all the stuff we know about him, he's just like good at what he does, and he's not gonna risk like one, no matter how much he
Mike-
cares
yeah,
about someone.
Mike knew
unless
when
that
it was
person
over.
Was family, he's not gonna do anything
Right.
for them.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
this was like the most sympathetic I've ever seen him towards someone.
Oh, for sure.
So-
That scene was so hard to watch.
Yeah.
We got it. We were talking too during the episode. Like, we really get a lot of time with what's the new guy's face? What's the new guy's name? The dude
crap,
that's
I can't remember, but
the Salamanca dude.
yeah.
Oh, I just know he's a Salamanca dude.
I can't think of his
I
name.
can't think of his. Oh,
Chat, correct
Edward,
us.
I think. Maybe.
Is it Edward?
I don't.
That doesn't seem.
Maybe not.
I don't think his name is Edward. Regardless of what his name is, there's a lot of it just. I don't know. All of that stuff's really intense. We learned if anybody's ever following you in a parking lot, just shove gum in the
God, that was
the
so
dollar bill
smart.
thing, and you know what?
Yeah,
They'll
Mike.
get-
Mike just is always thinking. Like he always knows what to do.
Yeah, I was saying during the episode because we always talk about how long it takes for them to write this show. That's why like it took long for this season to come out. But it's moments like that's the reason why it takes so long. Because how Vince Gilligan even thought to
yeah,
come up with that is so fucking bonkers.
I'm sure that was a whole week in the writers' room, right? Like, and what do we do? How do we jam him in here?
And then filming too. I mean, they had to make that dude spill his smoothie all like perfectly and
Damn.
stuff as he
Yeah.
got rammed from behind.
That guy's whole upholstery, man, wrecked, ruined. Smoothie King
Pink
everywhere.
car.
But yeah, all that stuff was crazy.
Oh, I was sorry. I looked up his name. I was
Is it
so
Eduardo?
close. It's Eduardo.
Okay.
Okay,
That
that
makes a
sounds
lot more
more
sense.
right.
I was like, I knew it's got to be something like that. But yeah. So,
Yeah. God.
I'm sorry, but I love him.
Me too.
I think he's a really cool villain because he seems like so psycho enough to where it's like, I don't know, you kind of don't trust him, but you want to like him. Like you want him
he's
to be,
fun to watch when he's on
Yeah.
the screen. I'll
Like,
say
it's
that
really
for
cool.
sure.
And then like that whole scene with him and with the like kid.
In the
guy that looks
the
like-
the
shop.
wire place.
He looked
Yeah.
like Kip from Napoleon Dynamite.
He did. Yes.
He looked just like him.
That whole it was just creepy with how quick he like got in the
Oh,
scene.
Gets in
yeah.
the sewers. I tell you what, anybody running through the sewers that fast and then
the
just
ceiling.
dropping down. Yeah, the ceiling, the vents,
Sewers.
the vent. My
Yeah.
bad. And then just dropping down with a gun and
Like it's just how quickly he did it and how quiet it was. It's just it shows like he's so nice and then like can like flip a switch like that quick. It's just like kind of psycho.
Well, yeah,
but
definitely
it's like
a
good
psychopath.
psycho.
I love when he was on the phone with Werner and he was like talking like he knew Michael. And,
Yeah,
like just
what
when he kept
was-
saying Michael, I was just like, oh my god, this guy.
Michael told me to go straight to you, actually. And then when he finds Mike's actually on the phone, and he's like, Michael.
yeah, it was weird. How
Well,
he was like
I-
happy.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're setting that up to be kind of the face-off next season,
Yeah.
maybe.
Man, we
Mike's
didn't
plot's
get
gotta
any
go
Nacho
somewhere.
in this.
I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking, as soon
It's
as
kind
we
of-
started recording this, because we
He
always
was
talk about
given the
Nacho, I
shaft.
was like,
Yeah,
dang.
in a way. But last week we were kind of talking that we could see that just being the end for Nacho this year,
Because I didn't
right?
think much more was going to happen with him, but I was kind of surprised they didn't show him at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's other people too. Like we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't see any Hector.
Yeah, we didn't
either.
see any
Oh,
Hector.
true. Yeah. He got the bell, and that was all he needed.
He's set now for Breaking Bad.
Oh, for sure. All right, so we got to talk about Jimmy and Kim a little bit.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Even though I feel, I gotta say, like, sometimes that story I think gets a little overshadowed, especially when you've got like stuff like this that's happening in it. It's sometimes easy to forget. But like, my God, the stuff, just the end of this episode,
Oh,
truly.
yeah.
It's like the very end of it, and I mean, you get to see all the ways Jimmy's trying to like get everybody to think he like cares about his brother, like he does the whole grave site thing, which is like super morbid,
Exhausting.
Oh my god!
But don't forget,
Stand at
he's
your
also-
grave, grab donuts,
He
go
cried
back.
in his car.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, he
So-
is going through stuff. He's weird. Like it's hard to read him. I think sometimes. Like honestly, I was a little bit fooled at the end.
Well, the thing is,
But-
I don't think he's crying necessarily because of his brother.
Well,
I
what do
think
we?
he's overwhelmed.
What do
Yeah.
we think broke him down in his car? Because I don't truly know what actually got to him at that point, right? Because he's on the board of the scholarship. He's kind of vouching for the girl that he knows they're not going to vote
Right.
for. He goes and kind of gives that long speech to her that I'm sure scared the shit out of her, and also is just like,
She's just like, what?
I
Right.
think that's just the emotions of a man coming out of someone that is literally living their life bullshitting.
yeah.
And
So
there's just a moment where you're like, what
that
the fuck
right
am I
that
doing?
moment
Yeah.
of like you're finally not putting on an act. You're in your car. That last straw, which seems like something
Yeah.
so minor, like your car not starting, but really it's just like. Yeah, it's sometimes, and as well as Bob Odenkirk acts or like, plays his character, and like Jimmy McGill's so likable, but he is, like you're saying, he's such like a bullshit, he's always bullshitting, and it's like those moments of him just breaking down are what reminds us that like dude, this dude's still human. He's putting on this front, but like my God, he's going through his own shit, and I don't know.
He just seems like he's carrying a lot of weight with trying to like fool everyone.
Yeah, and it's we love him, and it gets to that point where it's like, dude, sometimes maybe you don't even need to fool him. Maybe
Well,
you've already got
that's
all
just
the
the
pieces
thing,
to your
like,
own puzzle right there, and that's
yeah.
very much echoed at the end of it, right?
It
Yeah.
sucks to just constantly have to be trying to, like, this show is literally just him trying and trying and trying. Like, that's all it is.
Right.
He never has, like, a minute to just fucking stop.
To just chill and just be like, hey,
And-
you're in.
So it's like, I'm sure, yeah, that probably part of it is about his brother, but at the same thing, I think like his emotions are more about just like he's just stressed. the
That's
fuck
what I
out.
think. It's like
Yeah.
almost all just overwhelming. I don't
don't
think there's a
think-
whole lot of Chuck in there.
No.
Well, yeah, at this point, with everything they've shown with Chuck, like Mary was saying, you kind of are fooled. I mean, for some reason, I wasn't. Whenever he was doing the whole speech at the end, I was like, I mean, this is all fake. But that was like the most convincing he had ever been about
Yeah.
Chuck. And then he proves it wrong. And like Kim's face, she was like shocked.
Right, because even
Because
she,
she
was
thought he was
fooled.
like being real.
Yeah, that's
Well-
why I don't feel so bad about being fooled, because like Kim was too.
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
it
well, I
was
think
very
that's- yeah.
convincing.
And that's what the
Yeah.
show is trying to make you do. Like they're trying to make it to where you can't really put a read
Which
on
is,
him.
Right.
it shows even more how much he's like, he doesn't really have like that much of a, like he has a conscience, but he just like doesn't care about the things he should be caring about
know.
at all. And I don't think he ever will.
Well,
Like,
no.
Yeah,
Well,
we
yeah.
know now.
Well, it's like a proven thing.
Yeah, I want to say like that whole thing at the end when he gets out and he's kind of just celebrating, and Kim realizes that he was just joking or whatever, and then as he walks away, I feel like that last shot of Kim was like almost like haunting.
It was like devastating.
It was like devastating, but the way I don't know what it was about that final shot, because she's like, it's not like zoomed in on her face or anything.
Mm-hmm.
She's just there and she's shocked, and just something about it. Like I got just chills, and then it just cut to being over, and it was like, I don't
I
know.
feel like it's
there's something
because-
very weird right there that just was like, holy fuck.
Right, because it's like you're looking at someone who looks like she looks completely defeated. Like she's done so much
And this
for
is-
him and thought he was this person. It's like her life pretty much.
And this is somebody that's already like bent the rules so much, and like she's like sacrificed some of her morals, right, to like kind
So
of go
much.
more towards Jimmy's side. Like she's admitted to enjoying doing some of this con work and different things, and it's like even still, it's like he still finds ways to just like completely shock and awe. It's just like that moment where she thought he was being completely real, and it's like, nope, still not.
And I mean, I feel like that's not even really her true self. Like, I feel like she's just bending her morals
Because if
for
she's-
Jimmy.
yeah, 'cause she
I
cares
mean, like,
about
in the
Jimmy.
very beginning, she's still supporting him at the grave, like giving him the bear claw and the coffee,
Right.
and everything. But like by the end, she's like,
Every time she's doing
Right.
these like bending the rules and everything, it's for him.
Right.
So,
and then the whole
but there is like a line
knife
clearly.
in the back thing when he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be McGill anymore." The
Yeah.
whole name change,
Right.
switcheroo.
because that's what made her. She was like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
She was not expecting that at all, and he was like, "Yeah, it's all good, man.
It's all good, man.
And then Dunzo, which I actually really liked that. That's the way they ended this episode.
Yeah, I mean,
thought
I-
it was super-
I
we make
loved it.
that pun constantly, so I'm glad that he did it too.
About towards the end when he was doing the speech, I had a moment in my head where I was like, is this episode going to end with him like changing his name? So I was more or less
Right, just
on
waiting
the right
for it at that
track,
point.
Yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
happy it happened.
Right, it is good because we have to imagine. I mean, we don't really know how much longer the season will go on. I mean, not the season. This
show.
show.
Series.
The season is over. This was it.
This is the end of the season.
I think at some point Vince Gilligan had said like he doesn't want it to go on longer than Breaking Bad, and that would be 5 seasons. So there's a real possibility that the show's got one, action-packed season left of it. But
I mean, I'm good with that. I think if they can't prolong it too much, like I feel like there's not like an insane amount that can happen depending on how far past the timeline of Breaking Bad they want to go.
The fact that he's already becoming Saul Goodman too is pretty
Right.
much just showing like they can't do much else with Jimmy's character now.
right.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
it's like
We're-
next season's pretty much going to be
he's-
developing Saul Goodman.
Yeah, I mean he's so on that track now, right? So everything we're getting to it,
Oh yeah.
and man,
Well, that means the next episode we get, however many years from now it is, we'll see another Cinnabon scene.
well,
Oh dang. Yeah, because we didn't see much.
Yeah.
and
At all.
it probably won't even be Cinnabon anymore, right? It'll be it'll pick up right where it left off, right? I mean,
Well, no, the first episode of every season is always him as the manager at Cinnabon.
no, I know, but remember how that black and white bit ended in this season, where he's, I mean,
You're right.
yeah, I think if it
Right.
picks up from that same,
That timeline,
Yeah.
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 for sure. So that'll be interesting. We got a ways to go.
Yeah.
At the rate the show comes out, it's probably looking like a year and a half. I don't know.
And now we don't have. It's like no more Monday nights with Jimmy and the gang.
With Jimmy
sad.
and the gang.
We do have, though, I wanted to throw a shout out to some of our comments on YouTube because the original Max G-Force, literally his first sentence was, one thing Mike is going to have to do is find and kill Werner Ziegler. And I was like, well, that's literally exactly what happened. He was just saying how he knows the super lab is in Albuquerque and he's like gone unsupervised and he knows that Gus Fring, Oh, never mind. He was saying that he like knows that he's met Gus. So he like knows that Gus isn't gonna
Right.
be
Right.
okay with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I feel like most people kind of assumed something along the lines of this was gonna happen, but I don't know. Well, I think all of us were just hoping that he wouldn't die.
Yeah. We all kind of thought he was going to die last episode when he was going to like fix those wires and stuff.
that's true.
Yeah, I think the shock was that it was by Mike's hands,
Yeah.
at least for me. But
yeah, so we have. Let me see. Morgan commented too. Well, she was talking because she was the one that said that she does like a quarterly Breaking Bad binge, but she said it's like not actually that quarterly. But
no, you know what, Morgan, stick
That's
to it.
a way to live
I feel like,
life.
yeah,
I
that's a good
approve
way
of
to
that.
live. But she was saying that she thought the guy was having an anxiety attack too because of fixing the dynamite, and the wiring or whatever. And then she was saying that something was brewing with the guy's missing wife. And let me see. Oh, okay. And then she was just pretty much calling everybody a dick, which makes sense. So, but yeah, I just feel like I can't wait 2 years for the end of this.
I don't think it'll be that long.
It won't be
You
two.
don't?
I
I think it's going to be another year and a half, probably.
I think it'll be a little-
It'll be like spring 2020.
Yeah, I think they may go back to the release window that like it had been coming on, like do a year and a half again, and then you're
Like
back
next
to
February,
February,
March.
which is when the show normally
Yeah,
aired.
I could see that.
And that gives them time to figure out how many sticks of gum they're gonna have to plunge into the next thing. But yeah, it'll be back. We'll be a little bit older and wiser, but this show, man, it's one of the best things on TV by far. And
yeah.
while it's coming on TV, it's just so much fun to have it. And I don't know.
I know.
can't
We're gonna
wait.
miss it.
I can't wait to see how this all wraps up, and I know it's gonna just connect perfectly to Breaking Bad. So
Yeah.
we'll be there soon.
It should be exciting to see. So that has been our in review of Better Call Saul, our weekly reviews.
Hell yeah!
finale.
And if you guys liked
This
this,
is so sad.
it is. But
It's over.
hey, maybe we'll come up with something else to talk about.
Yeah, which I'm sure we would announce that on the weekly show at
For
some
sure.
point.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you have ideas, though, let us know.
So yeah, but to close it all out, if you like what we do, again, you can subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube. We are there. And social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, @MissTheBus and @MissTheBusPod. You search it, we're there.
Search it, we're there. We're everywhere.
So yeah, we hope you enjoyed this. We will hopefully do some other in-review series eventually.
Absolutely.
But until then, just check out the weekly show and
Thanks for hanging out with us
Yeah,
during,
thanks, guys.
during
It's
Better
been
Call
fun.
A
Saul.
hard
Pretend
goodbye.
I know, but it's all good, man.
Oh,
I had to do
cut
one
it.
more. I'm sorry.
Cut it there.